This is a glorious day. It's a magnificent day. It's a day long in coming. It could not have happened without the extraordinary leadership of the governor of Michigan and the extraordinary leadership of the Prime Minister and his team, his Minister of Transportation, and so many others of you that are gathered here. I agree with the Prime Minister. This is a big deal. It's a big deal for both of our countries, but it's a particularly big deal for people who want to go to work, for people who are bridge builders, for people who know how to build roads, for people who need a job. That's what this is about.
Well, this will help our business enormously. Ford Motor Company alone sends about 600 trucks a day across the bridge, and they get hung up often, particularly on the Windsor side. And it really, anytime you get hung up like that, it costs you time and certainly costs you money. And so this will be a huge boost to us as we send parts, powertrains, and vehicles back and forth across the border.
A very exciting day. We're on the site, or close to the site, over my shoulder, where the new crossing, the international trade crossing, will take place. That's very important to the agricultural industry because we need to have access in a truly convenient and efficient manner to move our products into Canada.
Well, it's critically important really for our business, but the whole business community throughout the state. But representing West Michigan, we were in favor of this from the very beginning.
The current crossing, because of its location, not because of the operators, but because of the location, is the worst bottleneck in the entire Pan-American freeway system. What it takes to get off the bridge, through customs, and over to the freeway in Canada is the worst bottleneck that we have in our whole system. That's the reason why building another bridge right into that bottleneck is not a real solution. A freeway-to-freeway connection is essential to efficient trade and job growth because of the expansion of Michigan-based manufacturers. And again, I'll say, not just of automobiles, but of everything that we make in this state. The Ambassador Bridge handles 99% of the trade at Detroit over 4 lanes. And people talk about the viability in Buffalo, Niagara, a total of 14 lanes, 8 of which handle commercial traffic. Those bridges are viable, and yet they handle only 61.4% of the trade volume moved by truck as we do.
Mark Otter from Michigan. Supposedly there's a bomb square on the Ambassador Bridge, and we're just sitting here in traffic waiting to go.
And I see you're driving a truck?
Yes. So, and I understand this happened at the tunnel you guys said last week. So it's just one of them things in a daily thing, but when you're running out of hours, you got to be able to go somewhere and park it, and that's going to be the tough part.
Now you were talking with some of the other truckers. What's everybody saying?
They just need to figure out a better way to get around through Windsor other than the, you know what I mean? It's just hard. When you got one bridge doing it, that's the only thing you can do though.
Of course, we need an interchange off I-75 and a U.S. Customs Plaza. Between the GSA and the Canadian government, that's who pays for that part. And the tolls will pay it back, and if it doesn't, that's not our risk, it's theirs. You have the bridge itself that the private sector will design, finance, build, and run. And then you have the Canadians that are responsible for the plaza on the Canadian side and the connection to their freeway.
In terms of how the money, what will it be? We've heard lots of allegations in the paper that this will be a loan. I want to clarify categorically, this will not be a loan. We are very aware that nobody in Michigan wants to assume any responsibility, financial obligations in the future to repay back what Canada has offered to contribute towards this project. This project will be a contribution the funding will be a contribution to the project, and it will be dedicated specifically to cover the costs of the components that I mentioned. The funding will be provided to the Bridge Authority to then pay the private sector directly. There will be no Canadian funds flowing to the state of Michigan.
Well, the new international trade crossing is great because it's about jobs. It's about international trade. If you look at the state of Michigan and you look at where we're placed, draw a circle from Montreal to Chicago, it's a third of the North American economy, and we're right in the middle. So having this new crossing will generate more and better jobs for the long term. In the short term, there's a lot of great construction jobs, and the best part is there's no cost to Michigan taxpayers for building this bridge. This crossing will help generate more and better jobs for Michiganders for the export marketplace. The other one are construction jobs. This will employ thousands of construction workers on a project that will last for several years. So we win all around. The last piece is it'll create economic benefit for the surrounding area, right around the bridge area, which is a depressed area. We want to create an opportunity for the people in Delray, other parts of Detroit, to participate in this process. And then one lasting effect, because of the federal road matching effect of the Canadian investment to do our interchanges, is it'll create road work throughout all of Michigan. So every corner of Michigan will benefit from road construction jobs, which leads to long-term jobs.
It's about all of us coming together, bringing our collective resources to the table to get this done. It needs to get done. It needs to get done yesterday. I think it will have a tremendous impact on the two countries. It's not just about Michigan. It's not just about Detroit. It's not just about the U.S. It's about our partners across the water. And I'm very pleased that all of us have come to the table to be supportive in this endeavor.
But I've been a long time on record in favoring a second bridge, and I talked to Eddie Francis, the mayor, and the person who represents the state, their government, the province of Ontario, and they both said we're not taking a second bridge in downtown, in Windsor, period. Well, at that point in time, I moved it over to the DRIC because that's the only game in town. If Windsor won't take a second span, for whatever reason, you can't build half a bridge. It's got to land someplace. So they've done the research and the development down the river. It connects expressways and it gets that traffic out of downtown Windsor. They were complaining about noise, pollution, congestion, and this DRIC has a new name now, solves that problem. So I'm a big-time supporter, and I'm not against the Maroon family and the fact they want to spend their own money. That's great. But as I understand how this authority will work, Matty can bid on it through the authority and still get it.